Live? Yes. Hi. Hello, hello. Good morning, faithful. 30 days of faith, friends. Good to see you. I'm going to pull you up. Funny little intro. Okay, it's live. Yay. Here we are. Hello. Please say hi in the comments if you got here. Thank you for the grace to change the time. I was not planning on doing that, but it has proven to be very hard to be ready for this by 9 a.m. with my whole family at school and set up now that school is back in session after winter break. So thank you for that. I am so excited to talk to you today about your next skill. Okay, you have a skill I hope, you've been practicing, which is to talk about you. And I want to share with you the next skill, which is to give people an invitation that is easy to take. Wouldn't it be cool if they did something positive for your relationship or for your family or for each other? I'm struggling with hair a little bit today. I have new bangs and usually I just tie them back, but today I have them out and I still don't know what to do. So pardon me looking at my funny hair and fixing it. It's going to be distracting to me today. I'll try to focus. Okay. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could give people you love an invitation to do something positive and they could actually do it with an engaged heart? That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about freedom. Hi, good morning. Hi, Brenna. Okay, the chat's popping now. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Hannah. Sometimes it takes a bit for it to come through on my side. So, hello. I'm sorry if I missed you before. We're talking about freedom. Your Bible says that for freedom's sake, Christ set us free. Katie, good morning. Hi. I'm so happy that you're here. Good morning, Sarah. Oh, yay. Okay, for freedom's sake, God set you free. And I remember being a young mom of two littles and standing in my kitchen, hearing them fuss at me in the morning, sunlight pouring through the window, soapy hot wet hands doing some dishes, and hearing kids fussing, looking over and seeing their yogurt all over their faces and all over the table, and handling the next shift of dishes, which seems like I just had got the prior one done, and looking at the stovetop, which still had our high protein breakfast mess on it, and seeing the floor, and it's covered in crumbs again already. And my husband had gone to work, and I thought, I don't want to do any of this. I felt trapped in my life as a woman. And I was certain that God made me a female, which meant that my destiny was dishes, sweeping, children, diapers. This is really bothering me. I'm sorry. And mothering, right? Keeping home. I thought that's what I was for. And I had run out of energy for the day-to-day tasks and for the mindless, mundane, repetitive nature of motherhood. I was out of energy. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I wasn't connected to my purpose and I wasn't connected to any passion about what was going on. And I just wanted to feel alive again. And in my relationship to my husband, it seemed like there were expectations of me that I somehow couldn't understand or meet that were very obvious to him. Anybody ever felt like that? Someone has expectations of you that are obvious to them, but I didn't fully understand what they were. And when I started to understand what they were, I was sure I couldn't do it. Anybody? Have you ever felt like this? I felt trapped and I felt bored and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And my Christian culture had taught me that what I needed to do was be more grateful and more respectful and read my Bible more often and be more disciplined. Can we agree those are good things and that they were not the answers that I needed? Not in wholeness. Wave at me if you know what I'm talking about. Have you heard somebody say, you just need to be more grateful? Sounds like he needs to feel your respect. Need to get those dang kids to obey. They're running you around. Good advice, but missing missing a lot of the picture. My Christian culture did not have the emotional, identity, relational skills that I needed. I wasn't learning that in church on Sunday. Okay, I got some hands waving at me in the chat. This is real. What I found out was that I was only going to find that energy and passion and purpose again in what I was doing by being me. And forsaking my ideas, Christianity's ideas, my husband's ideas, our parents' ideas about what it meant to be a Christian woman at my house. And that the energy was going to come from me being myself in it and feeling free in it. I was going to have to do those dishes because I wanted to. That sounds kind of crazy. I have the same responsibilities now that I had back then, but now I'm free to do it. So freedom doesn't mean doing what I feel like doing all the time. It means feeling like doing what I was made to do. And I'm not saying I was made to do dishes, and neither were you. But doing the dishes does provide for a life of freedom about other things. I'm going to clear my whiteboard because there's an old drawing on it from me yesterday, and my 6-year-old wrote a cute message on here. I'm not going to repeat it, but if you saw it, that's pretty funny. They like to come in here when I'm working and send me strange messages, funny messages. Okay, so today we're talking about freedom. Freedom. And I found that when I'm free, released to be me, that when I have breathing room and when I can express myself and when my opinion counts and my feelings matter, that actually I felt the freedom to like do the dishes at the time of day that works well for me. And I stopped trying to fit the mold of being what a good Christian mom or a good Christian woman looks like, and I let myself be Katie. Katie is loud, creative, expressive, passionate, articulate. Katie struggles with consistency, order, time management, homemaking, and that's okay. Because God didn't give my kids that picture. He gave them this one, who I am, that's me. And he gave me to my husband as well. And we had to work it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Work it out. And I needed someone to come and tell me that it's okay that I felt so depressed in my mom life trying to fit a mold that was not made for me. I want to tell you a story the Holy Spirit told me in this season that I am referring to that helped me get my head around what it looked like to be free. I was praying one day in this measure of depression that I was living in and just asking the Lord, like, how can I do better? How can I love my husband better? How can I love my kids better? How can I serve you better? I just want to do better. Somebody put do better in the chat if this is how you have prayed. Seasonally or all the time. Do better. Do better. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know where we got that message, but I am surrounded by women who have been praying that they would be better humans. Do better. I wanted to do better. Lord, how do I love him better? Lord, how do I serve you better? Lord, how do I raise my kids better? How do I raise my dog better? How do I handle my body better? How do I better? Somebody say better. If you know what I'm talking about. Better. We've got to be better. Let's go. Get on the better train. In fact, all my friendships were about being better. So I was praying about this one day. And one of the things I was thinking about and feeling so guilty over was lashing out. Lashing out. I could hold my breath and be more grateful, be more respectful, and pray more and read my Bible more for a while before someone said or did something and I finally lashed out. One time my kids and husband were in the car waiting for me to go somewhere. The engine was on and they were all sitting there ready to go, but I wasn't ready to go yet. And someone made a comment in the car. I also had to run in for something in the house. So I went in the house alone and I was full of so much pent up rage that I I think I probably screamed. I went in the house, I slammed the door by myself. I knew I was like away from my kids where I could let some steam out. I probably screamed, and then I kicked a cabinet door, a kitchen cabinet door. I don't think I've told very many people this story. It just felt so good to hurt something, to make an impact somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I felt trapped and I needed out, and I couldn't get out, so I kicked a cupboard. So in my journal this day, I'm thinking about kind of the way that I am. I'm depressed and ungrateful, and then I'm angry and out of control. And all of this feels like a huge mess that I should not be bringing to my family. Okay? And in prayer, I heard the Lord say to me, Tillicum. Tillicum. I didn't know what that meant. And so I Googled it, like every good millennial. You hear something in prayer, and I went to Google. Okay? And I found out that Tillicum is the name of the killer whale who played Shamu at SeaWorld. Do you know SeaWorld? It is an ocean adventure park for kids, kind of like Disneyland, but about the ocean. So there's rides and exhibits and animals you can touch and trained, incredible wild animals who put on a show. And the greatest show was the Shamu show. It was a killer whale show where killer whales do tricks. Incredible. And I actually, when I was young, I wanted to be a dolphin and killer whale trainer because I had seen this show growing up. I grew up in Southern California by SeaWorld. And I just thought that was absolutely incredible, and I loved animals. So this was in my heart. When I found out that Tillicum was Shamu, I was intrigued. So I looked up Tillicum, and I found out that the story of Tillicum was actually made into a documentary. And I went and I watched that documentary. And in the documentary, I learned that show whales like Shamu are actually captured in the wild and then held all over the world in these really rundown, impoverished nations. And they're held in a little pool until they are marketed and sold to big companies like SeaWorld to be trained to do tricks. And they're sold for tens of thousands of dollars. So this is a way that low-income people in different countries can make big money really fast one time by capturing one wild animal, feeding it for a little bit and holding it for a small amount of time and shipping it off, okay? And that Tillicum was one of these whales who was caught in the wild, put into a holding pool, sold to San Diego at SeaWorld, and then trained to do tricks. And so he would go way down deep and then propel himself up way up out of the water and do a backflip and land cleanly, and the whole audience goes wild. And then he would swim around the outside of the tank, smacking his tail on the water, splashing everybody, and the audience would get soaking wet on a hot day in California, and the audience would go wild, and Tillicum would be fed small fish for rewards. And he looked happy. He looked like he was having fun. He was way into it. He had a relationship with the trainers. They would kiss and hug. He'd carry a trainer on his nose and swim all around this pool, and the trainer would be at the front like Titanic, King of the World style. And then he would throw the trainer, and the trainer would do a flip and dive, and they would meet in the middle and wave at everybody. The killer whale could wave at the whole audience. It was an incredible show. Well, one day, Tillicum was all done. He lived in a 400 by 800 foot pool, I think. And in front of everybody, I believe it was a Saturday morning, during a show, he took his trainer Ashley down to the bottom of the pool, put his nose to her at the bottom until she was lifeless. Picked her up and swam her to the top in his mouth and showed her to the world, as if to say, no more. And then, wrecked after watching this documentary, so sad for Tillicum and every other killer whale that's been captured and put in this position, I asked the Lord, what are you trying to say to me? And I felt the Holy Spirit say to me, go learn about killer whales. Go learn about the orca. And here's what I found out. Killer whales are relational beings. In fact, their emotional relational brain is, I think it's 400x compared to the size of our relational emotional brain. They have a center of their brain that connects the limbic brain to the prefrontal cortex, where we manage emotion and impulses into decisions. And ours is a size that in between brain is called the paralimbic brain. For them is disproportionately way larger than ours. And it's where they relate and emote and communicate. That part of the brain is for emotion, relating, and communication, okay? They are relational animals more than people are, more than humans. They are matriarchal, which means they are female-led, and they live in pods up to 200 wide, 200 whales in a community, and a woman leads them, a female leads them. They communicate. I think I'm getting the numbers like mixy, so if you want to do your research, I want you to go do that, but just get the heart of what I'm saying. They can learn up to 200 languages. Each pod community fights for each other. They hunt as a team, meaning I go make the kill and you get the food. Some of them chase the prey in, some of them circle and make the kill. They share the job and they share the feast. In their pod, they have their own dialect, their own language, unique to just their pod. So you would know as a whale what pod someone was from by the way they were talking. Y'all, we don't even have it that way. And if they encounter a lone animal who's a pod animal, for example, there's kinds of dolphins that if they find them alone, they will actually adopt a dolphin and learn to communicate with it, learn its language enough to teach it their language, and they will adopt it. So they are compassionate, community, loyal teammates in a pod. They're family people, family animals. And communication, oh gosh, these things. Communication is massively important to them, and the relationship size of their brain is ginormous. Sorry, pardon me. It's backwards, guys. It's so funny. Okay. And the Lord said to me, here's the point, okay? The Holy Spirit said to me, Katie, oh, one more thing about them. Final thing I think about them. Oh, two more things. They're the top of the food chain. I'm trying to remember this off the cuff today. They're the top of the food chain. And they live everywhere. They're global. Their body can live in tropical waters and the Antarctic, the North and South Pole, Fiji, Australia, Hawaii, Mexico, you name it. They're fit for the world, for nations. They are not localized, okay? They're nomadic, and they can tolerate any seasonal water. Can you believe that? That's so wild. They're the ultimate sea creature, okay? Communicators, female leaders, extremely compassionate, giant pod, huge emotional, relational, and verbal capacity, global, top of the food chain. He said, Katie, this is what the Lord said to me, Katie, you take an animal like that and you put it in a pool and you ask it to do tricks, you better believe at some point it's going to lash out. And immediately I knew that the Lord was talking about me. While I am responsible for my body, words, feelings, he was telling me the problem, the root of the problem is not what you're saying and doing. It's not the anger. The root of the problem is that you are a creature born for the globe who could be leading hundreds, knowing 200 languages and adopting orphans, nomadic and sure about where you're going, but you're here doing good Christian woman tricks for small fish. In a pool the size of your house, and you're wondering why you're so depressed and so outrageously angry, and your answer is, be more grateful. Y'all getting what I'm saying? Freedom. We're talking about freedom. If you relate to anything about what I'm saying, put freedom in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. Freedom. Say freedom. The people who are in your sphere, your husband, your children, your in-laws, the women around you, your dog, are going to follow you when they see freedom on you that they want. They're going to want what you have when you're free. And they're going to want to do what you ask when they feel that same freedom around you. How many of you know I can do the dishes in freedom, and I can do that every day and it doesn't bother me at all? Or I can make that the standard for whether or not I'm a good human, and I can do those dishes like a slave and no one's going to want to be around me. Do you know what I'm talking about? My children feel free around me. They are free to make a good choice and free to make a bad choice, and they don't get shamed for making a bad one, and they don't get hyper celebrated for making a good one. Do you know why? Their choice brings fruit to them that they like. I don't have to toy with their feelings to get them to make a good choice. They are free, and when they make a choice, they get what that choice brings. Do you know what I'm talking about to you right now? I love this so much, and I'm taking my time and diving deep because I love it so much. Can you tell? Okay, yesterday, night before last, my son bought a new video game. He got a Nintendo gift card for Christmas, and then he saved some cash, and he bought a spendy game that he wasn't willing to spend money on before because it was too much. But now he got the gift card, right? He ordered it and downloaded it the night before last. And here was a bold move because I live in freedom. He started downloading it around 6 o'clock. It was going to be done by like 7:30, and I didn't let him play it because it's nighttime. So I told him at the beginning when he purchased it, we're not going to play video games tonight. You don't get to use your game until tomorrow after. And it's not even like you can wake up tomorrow after your schoolwork and all your chores are done. That would have been a scary thing for me to say back then, back in the day when I wasn't free. I would have been so intimidated to say that to him because we'd have had a fight. Do you know what I'm talking about? A fight. So I told him this, and this is just fruit of the tools working, y'all. He had such a sweet attitude. He did not argue with me. A couple times he like looked at the game and showed me like, it's almost downloaded. When the percentage was done, he's like, Mom, it's done. And I didn't even have to remind him. That is so cool, but not tonight. He's so rocking it right now, y'all. He's a 13-year-old boy. And he went to bed that night, and I tucked the girls in and I took my time with them. And by the time I got to his room, he was sitting on his floor and he had all his books open, Sunday night, and he had half of his schoolwork done for Monday. Hey there, what are you doing? Oh, I'm getting a bunch of my schoolwork done so I can get it done early tomorrow so I can play my new game. Freedom. Freedom. He woke up Monday morning, got up early, did 2 more assignments, then took care of the dishes and walked the dog, and then did the rest of his schoolwork, cleaned up his breakfast, and then used 45 minutes of screen time with his new game. And then he got to show it to me later. Do you see that I don't need to emotionally manipulate him into doing a good thing? The good thing brought him a good thing, and my job is to train him to make choices that benefit him. And then I get to be his partner and an honest leader when I get to explain to him, hey, I've got these things I'm facing, and I could do it this way, but that won't give me the result that I want. Instead, I'm going to fight hard and do it this way. Are you with me? Knuckles. He feels so free and he feels so loved around me, and it's working. Okay, so here's your skill. Are you ready? I hope I've compelled you that freedom is the way. Freedom is the way. And we're going to talk more about letting people make their choices and experience their outcomes. We are going to talk more about that. This is not an isolated skill, but here's your language skill that will help to remind you that the people around you will like being around you if they're free. And you can empower them to make great choices by believing the very best about them when you offer them options about what to do with you. Let me explain. Here's how it goes. You've learned your I statements. So, for example, my statements with him on Sunday could have looked something like this when we were establishing this early on. I don't want video games on after 7 tonight. I want your sleep protected. I want to protect your sleep. I'm thinking about your sleep. Could have been that simple. I'm thinking about your sleep. I don't want video games on after 7. You could get up early and get your schoolwork done and your chores done and play tomorrow when I go to work. Or you could do a regular day and then you and I could be first to play it after school. So I gave him 2 choices in this example that I'm totally happy with both. Somebody say both. Happy with both. Somebody put both in the chat if you're tracking. I didn't say to him, you can play tonight and lose your screen time for the entire week, one that I'm not happy with and then something he's not happy with. Or you can wait like I asked you to, kind of expecting him to do the worst, right? That language is like, I don't really believe that you have great intentions or great thoughts. Or you can do it like I asked you to and keep your screen time for the week. That is not the kind of language we're talking about. We're talking about 2 choices that I'm perfectly pleased with both. Hey, babies, time to eat dinner. I have made the food. I'm bringing it to the table. Would you like to use a fork or a spoon? Would you like to get full or be a little bit hungry? Would you like to eat your potatoes first or your chicken first? I am happy either way. I'm happy either way. Yay, both in the chat. Y'all crushing it. This is so fun. Do you like this? Is it helpful to have a principle and then learn a skill in the same class? I love teaching this way. If it's helpful to you, somebody say helpful in the chat. That helps me. It is blind. It is so blind in here going live. It's not my normal mode, y'all. I like to be in Zoom when you can talk to me. I love that. This is good, though. It's good practice for me. Okay. For in a conflict, y'all, I want you to use this in a conflict. That's where it's going to change you. Okay? Here we go. I'm feeling really overwhelmed. Do you want to take 10 right now? And I'll try to come back, or do you want to try again tomorrow? Conflict. Somebody say conflict. This is how you use this in a conflict. Okay. I feel uncomfortable hearing you say what my intention was. Can you reframe that for me? Or maybe just give me some time to process it? See how I believe that you can say that differently, and I believe you'll wait for me. See how my belief about the wonderfulness of the person I'm talking to is laced into these options. Let's do another conflict one. Let's say someone says, you don't care. This has come up so many times in our Brave Moms community and even in this week. Well, it's this way because you don't care about this. You never listen to me because you don't care. Oh, wow. Oh, wow is a good buffer. Okay, that's just like I hear you. Oh, wow. Okay, it's a neutral response. And then you can say, I'm really sad to hear, talk about me, I'm really sad to hear that your perception is that I don't care. And I want to change that perception. Could you tell me the behavior you see that makes you think that I don't care? Or maybe you can tell me the feeling that comes with it. See, what I just said is I really care about this. And you are capable of identifying the behavior, and you are capable of sharing with me how you feel. I believe so much in you. That's what these 2 choices are going to say. I was just laughing in my head because I could do this like with my dog. Hey, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Do you want to stay in the crate or on your bed while I'm gone? I don't care either way. I am also not negotiating about what I said. Hey, I feel really sad to hear that you think that I don't care. Well, you don't. Oh my gosh. I don't know what has happened. I don't know what has happened that convinces you of that. And it's important to me to unconvince you of that to the best of my ability. I would love to share with you what's really going on when I know more. I would love to share more with you about what's really going on when I know more about what you're experiencing. Can you talk to me about my behavior that you see that makes you say that I don't care? Or maybe you can tell me how it feels or when this started. See, I'm looking for more information. Is this helpful? This is your skill. 2 choices. It's okay with me either way. This is what we're talking about this week: freedom and the significance that a sense of freedom brings us. The reason I do the laundry, the reason I dust our house occasionally, not a lot, the reason I vacuum my bedroom is because it provides a safe and steady environment for me to do the things I am so passionate about to my core, like sit here and be live with you. I am lit up to do the work that I do. Tillicum. I'm living in the wild. I'm traveling the world. I am getting this message to as many women as I can. I don't mind doing dishes and laundry to make that easier. I don't mind doing dishes and laundry because it makes my kids feel stable and supported. There's no way I was going to thrive in an environment where I was doing the laundry and the dishes and vacuuming the floor because it's my job, because it's what makes me a good person, or because it's the standard for being a wife. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? This is an identity shift and a practical skill that will help you make the shift. Every time you give people choices or give yourself choices, talk to yourself this way, y'all, you can remember that without freedom, you're going to misbehave. Like Tillicum. You're going to misbehave and you're going to be frustrated with yourself and you're going to be saddled with guilt and anxiety. You're going to lash out at people. You must live in freedom. You must know that you're free if you want to have a life connected to energy and purpose and passion, and you want people to follow your lead or want what you have or want to be closer to you or communicate well or obey your voice. You're going to have to get connected to freedom and get connected to the heart of God for the freedom of the people around you. He loves their freedom. He loves their freedom so much, he sent his son to die for them so they could have freedom back. Knowing they may not choose him, and he's okay with that too. Does it grieve him? Yes. Is he going to stop it from happening? No. And as much as that breaks his heart, his honor for your will is higher than to override it and bring all his kids home. I know I'm talking to some moms right now. I want to override my children's will so I can keep them forever. How many of you know that is not going to work? They might stay forever, but it will not be willful. It will not be because they wanted to or they loved me or they trusted me. God loves freedom. We're going to talk more about it tomorrow. His heart for freedom. Today, use your skill and please tell us how it went. I want you to go use this in the wild. The wild being like your house, your friends, your ministry, your kids, your hubby. Use the skill. Choices. Journal about freedom. Where do you not feel free in your life? Mine was the dang dishes, the sweeping, wiping the little bums, and cleaning yogurt off faces all day. Where do you not feel free? Where do you need to find the freedom that God bought for you in your life? What do you not feel free to do? What are you doing out of obligation and fear? Okay, go dive in. Tell us how it's going. I want to hear all of your thoughts today in the chat, in the Facebook group, and in the circle room. Do you know what I'm talking about in the circle? Go make a post there. I love you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Be free. He went a long way, so you could be free. Be free today. Okay, goodbye.